Halo semuanya, apa kabar? It's a beautiful day outside and it's a beautiful day to have a webinar juga buat kalian yang baru datang. Selamat datang. Halo Clovers, selamat pagi. Semoga semuanya dalam keadaan yang sehat-sehat aja dan semuanya dalam keadaan yang pasti seger ya. Masih pagi, cuacanya enak banget, udaranya enak banget. Pastinya pagi-pagi kita harus sambut dengan meriah ya nggak sih? Anyways, nama aku Fajri, dan aku adalah salah satu anggota dari klub yang akan membantu kalian untuk jalannya sesi webinar kali ini. Nah, sebenarnya webinar ini merupakan bagian dari event Ready Set Rise yang diselenggarakan oleh klub dan growth center baik Kompas Gramedia. Nah, klub ini merupakan suatu platform online yang bertujuan untuk membantu generasi muda Indonesia dalam mengembangkan diri dan karirnya. Sedangkan untuk Growth Center dari Kompas Gramedia terdiri dari praktisi di bidang HR yang membantu organisasi untuk berkembang dan bertumbuh bersama. Jadi Set Rise ini berlangsung selama 4 hari, mulai dari 30 September, yaitu kemarin, sampai 3 Oktober nanti. Sebenarnya tujuannya untuk memberikan semangat sih buat kalian nih, apalagi lagi masa pandemi gini, kita nggak tahu, semuanya lagi nggak jelas, dan kita tuh pengen ngasih kamu semangat, biar kamu bisa terus lanjut menghadapi kegalauan dan kebingungan yang selama ini kamu alamin. Nah, selain dari rangkaian webinar ini juga, siapa tahu nih abis nonton webinar ini terus kalian inspired untuk belajar atau inspired untuk mungkin cari kerja. Nah, kalian bisa over langsung ke klub karena klub ini lagi buka lowongan kerja banyak banget. Mungkin apa yang kalian cari semuanya ada di sana. Gak cuma itu, kalian juga bisa belajar mulai dari harga 10.000, kalian udah bisa belajar dan upgrade diri kalian sendiri menjadi versi yang lebih baik. Nah, semoga Ready Set Rise ini bisa menjadi starter kit untuk kalian agar bisa membuat kalian bisa start stronger, do better, go further, bukan hanya dalam karir, tapi juga dalam kehidupan kalian. Next, aku juga ingin mengucapkan terima kasih banget nih buat sponsor-sponsor kita untuk Tanoto Foundation dan Pegadaian sebagai sponsor utama, Kompas.com, dan Kompas ID sebagai bagian dari Kompas Gramedia sebagai media partner kita, dan semua pihak yang telah mendukung terselenggaranya event Ready Set Rise ini. Nah, sebelum kita mulai, aku mau info sedikit dulu nih. Jadi buat kalian yang nonton webinar kali ini, nanti ada beberapa feature-feature yang kalian lihat seperti raise hand, chat, dan Q&A. Kak, itu untuk apa sih sebenarnya? Nah, untuk raise hand ini, kalian tuh bisa pencet ini, lalu memberikan notifikasi nih kepada kita atau kepada moderatornya. Nah, mungkin bisa kita cek dulu kali ya, coba raise hand siapa yang udah siap buat nonton webinar ini. Atau mungkin siapa yang udah nggak sabar nih, pengen denger insight-insight untuk cara-cara untuk kita mengelevate karir kita biar kita lebih sukses. Ayo coba ada yang raise hand, mungkin ada yang mau raise hand? Ada berapa? Oh, ada 10 nih, udah lumayan, 18, 20, oke. Keep them coming, karena sebenarnya hari ini webinarnya bakal seru banget. Lalu juga ada chat. Chat ini sebenarnya bisa kalian gunakan untuk nyapa aku, atau mungkin speakernya to say hi, atau mungkin teman aku di bawah, namanya ada Salsa. Nah, coba mungkin kita bisa chat ya. Aku mau cek dong ini kalian dari mana aja sih? Apakah ada yang dari Palembang? Atau mungkin ada yang dari Jogja mungkin? Ada nggak? Coba aku mau lihat di chat. Ada nggak? Oh, dari Batam, ada dari Medan. Ada yang dari Jakarta. Ada yang dari Blitar. Alright, good. Nah, nggak kalah pentingnya lagi sama feature-feature lain adalah feature Q&A. Nah, di feature Q&A ini kalian bisa banget bertanya buat speakernya. Gitu. Misalnya, lagi tengah-tengah materi, lagi tengah-tengah ngomong, terus kamu nggak ngerti dan kamu ingin tanyakan. Kalian bisa langsung pencet tombol Q&A itu dan tanya pertanyaannya, nanti siapa tahu bisa kami jawab, dan semoga semua pertanyaan kalian akan terjawab. Nah, lalu aku mau nanya sih sebenarnya, coba deh, kalian udah siap belum? Coba raise hand-nya dulu, udah siap belum? Ada yang udah siap atau ada yang belum siap? Wih, alright. 30 orang, 32, oke. Good. Boleh banget buat kalian untuk nyapa-nyapa teman-teman yang lain di chat, mungkin untuk kenalan, siapa tahu dapat teman baru, atau mungkin dapat kenalan baru gitu ya. Anyways, daripada aku banyak ngomong, aku pengen ngasih tahu nih sebenarnya hari ini tuh kita bakal bahas apa sih? Nah, hari ini kita akan bahas 6 rahasia to elevate your career success. Nah, jadi banyak banget nih cara-cara buat kita belajar agar kita bisa lebih sukses secara karir. Nah, nanti poin-poin yang terpenting yang akan kita bahas adalah sebenarnya itu tuh nggak menjadi hal yang buruk loh guys, kalau misalnya kamu tuh nggak tahu masa depan kamu tuh seperti apa, karena kita semua akan melalui fase itu, dan sebenarnya itu nggak apa-apa banget. Nah, nanti akan ada penjelasan kenapa sebenarnya itu nggak apa-apa. Yang kedua adalah temukan kekuatan kita dan gunakan untuk membuat dampak yang positif. Jadi, gimana kita bisa membuat dampak positif untuk sekeliling kita, bahkan untuk even diri kita sendiri. Dan even kita nemuin apa sih sebenarnya kekuatan kita, superpower kita itu apa. Nah, yang terakhir adalah cara menggunakan lingkungan untuk melihat mempunyai pandangan yang lebih luas gitu. Nah, mungkin seperti yang udah kita tahu, hari ini event sebenarnya kita punya tamu yang spesial. Ini datang all the way dari New York, dan nama beliau adalah Will Travis. Will Travis itu adalah internationally awarded brand builder dan creative entrepreneur, dan sering melakukan campaign dengan Coke, Toyota, Adidas, Netflix, even yang kalian nonton sekarang ini, Facebook, dan Cirque du Soleil, Absolute Plus Six globally. Dan juga pernah mempublish buku yang bernama Noise, dan juga pernah menjadi CEO. Gitu. Ini pengalamannya udah luas banget sih teman-teman. Jadi kalian nggak akan dapet info yang menurut aku tuh nggak penting, karena semuanya tuh akan penting banget di sini. Mungkin kita, sebelum aku mulai, aku mau kasih disclaimer aja. Jadi sesi kita hari ini adalah sesi berbahasa Inggris, tapi jangan khawatir karena nanti ada temen aku yang akan bantuin aku buat translate semua ini. Mungkin sebelum kita mulai, kita sapa dulu ya moderatornya hari ini, speakernya hari ini. Hey Will.
Selamat pagi.
Selamat pagi Will. How are you doing? How are you doing?
Yeah, bagus. Yeah, very well indeed. Thank you for having me here. It's an honor to be able to pass the baton of advice to tomorrow's leaders.
So sudah siap? Alright. Daripada aku banyak ngomong ya, mungkin kita langsung bisa mulai aja. Well, maybe you can start now. You know, kayak because I'm very enthusiastic about this webinar. So what's the 6 secrets of, to career success?
Awesome. Well, my partner in crime, Maggie, is going to be presenting a bit of a slide deck. I'll start with the first page, and then we can warm everybody up. I'll try and speak slowly. As I get excited and passionate, I speak quicker, so I apologize in advance. But I'll try and give you time to translate after each time I do a little bit of an intro. All right, so in summary, I've spent 30 years of my life in the career zone. And many of you on this club fair are at that great pivot point of determining, where am I going in life? What career opportunity, which decisions should I make? Is front and center to you at the moment. But I wanted to start this presentation with a perspective of who I am and where I was, where you are at the moment 30 years ago in the majority.
Jadi mau membantu translate aja dari yang barusan Will ceritain. Untuk sesi hari ini, seperti yang dari teman-teman sedang alami sekarang, Will akan menceritakan pengalaman dia dari 30 tahun yang lalu mau merintis karirnya, di mana dimulai dari mengetahui diri dia itu seperti apa dan bagaimana dia mengolah hal tersebut, dan akhirnya bisa mencapai titik sekarang ini. Dia pengen share terkait dengan experience dia yang dia harap bisa membantu teman-teman bisa menentukan juga karir masing-masing yang ingin ditempuh itu seperti apa.
Awesome. So my starting slide of this good-looking man and this beautiful woman. One, I'm married to one of them. I'll let you guess which one. The one who's got whiter hair is one of the world's top entrepreneurs. And the person on the right is my beautiful wife, Jana. My point is, if I can be standing in a room and be lucky enough to marry somebody like this, if I can do it, you can do it. And that is the first lesson. It's an advanced lesson. This isn't one of the 6, but it's the first thing to realize is that you were born with a gift. You have a talent. And if you put yourself in the right zone, you will succeed, period. I failed every exam at school. I was bullied heavily. I was called stupid until my whole life. My father died when I was 6 months old. My mother died when I was 18. I applied to engage with the world's best global advertising agencies. I was rejected by every single one of them. But within 20 years, I was the head of one of the most powerful global communication advertising agencies in the world. And the 6 slides I'm going to share with you now will hopefully give you some perspective. This is a quick course to guide you. It's like going to the gym. By walking into a gym, you do not get fit. You do not look great. You keep going to the gym, and it's about consistency. I created a company called Elevation Barn to help people consistently elevate. And it's about consistency. You stop, you give in. And so the 6 lessons here, please make note of them because they will help propel you forwards and around the obstacles we face in life. The final lesson before I start is when I had failed all my exams, my stepfather, who was a headmaster, sat next to me in the car and said, "How did you do with your results?" And I said, "I've let you down. 1, as a headmaster, but 2, because I have failed everything that you'd invested in for those 18 years. And he turned to me and said, "Will, you have to realize in life, you will always face obstacles. COVID is just an obstacle. What we have to learn is there is always a way over, under, or around that obstacle. You just have to step back from the wall and it becomes a hurdle." I'll let you translate, Salsa.
Sedikit summary aja dari yang tadi Will sempat sampaikan. Intinya dari slide ini dia ingin menunjukkan bagaimana di antara 2 orang yang menjadi sosok penting di hidupnya dia aja bisa kayak gini, kalian juga pasti bisa. Awalnya itu dia dibilang bodoh, selalu di-reject, selalu dibilang bahwa tidak cukup. Namun teman-teman perlu ingat bahwa kalian itu semua terlahir memiliki gift dan memiliki skills masing-masing. Dan itu bisa diasah terus-menerus. Dan dari sesi ini, Will akan menceritakan perspektif dia kira-kira apa yang bisa mengasah hal tersebut, gift tersebut, yaitu melalui konsistensi. Pada saat ini, Will membangun Elevation Barn yang dimana membantu terhadap konsistensi itu dan diharapkan buat teman-teman bisa mengatasi banyak-banyak masalah melalui cara-cara untuk mengkonsistensikan skill-skill ini. Begitu. Continue on, Will. You may go ahead.
All right, we'll go to the next slide. All right, so while you're thinking about getting a job, this is probably a face you may pull quite regularly, where you're at that career junction, that kind of like, we've all been there. We are always there. It continues through life. You want something consistent tattooed on your body? Put this on, because this will be a consistent phrase you will constantly hear yourself. Do not worry. You're not alone. Everybody on the planet goes through frustration. Why? Because we don't have all the answers. The future is unknown. And that's because it's exciting. It's something that will change constantly. The past is the past. It's only the present that we can focus on. We cannot determine the future. We can just position ourselves in the best position for the present. So focus on that. Focus on the present. And when I mean the present, focus on who you are. Who you are as a person. What do you love? What are the characteristics that you really admire? If you don't know yourself because you're too busy following some Instagrammer or taking a photo of this thing over here, take a photo of yourself every day. It's embarrassing. It's scary. It's reflective. If you don't know yourself, and I'm not talking about career, what does that little boy or little girl love? If you don't focus on yourself, you will be continually lost. Period. I promise you that. So first thing, realize it's frustrating. Look, secondly, focus on yourself.
Sebagai summary, yang tadi Will katakan adalah posisi sekarang ini yang dimana kalian merasa frustasi dan bingung dan tidak tahu masa depan itu seperti apa, itu yang dialami dan semuanya pasti mengalaminya. Untuk mengatasi hal tersebut adalah untuk fokus terhadap sekarang dan pada titik ini tuh seperti apa dibanding distracted dengan Instagramer lain atau pencapaian orang lain. Fokus terhadap diri kalian sendiri dan yang kalian suka apa dan kembangkan dari situ dan mengatasi ketidakpastian dan ketidaksesuaian jadi lebih mudah apabila kalian selalu check-in terhadap diri sendiri dan fokus terhadap pada saat ini untuk kedepannya seperti apa.
Okay. So I'm going to break it down into 6 key words. And I've made it easy to remember by using the word elevate to be able to remember those 6. So each will relate to the letter E-L-E-V-A-T-E. Okay? Remember these, write them down, put them on your palm if you want to just keep that conscious thought. Put it on the mirror. How am I going to elevate today? And I'll give you the 6 secrets that haven't just come from me, but have come from the last 50 years of talking to other incredible people, young and old. Age is totally agnostic when it comes to wisdom. And I want to share those thoughts with you today.
Yang Will akan sampaikan hari ini adalah 6 points yang bisa ditarik dari elevate. Jadi ELEVAT-nya itu merupakan 6 skills yang akan disampaikan hari ini. 6 points ini berdasarkan dari dia banyak ngobrol, baik itu dari orang muda, orang tua, dan sekelilingnya, yang dia kumpulkan akhirnya menjadi suatu perspektif yang bisa disampaikan ke teman-teman hari ini.
Okay, so the first, number 1, expand. Ask yourself, who is the person that hears me self-doubt the most? The person whose ears are closest to your mouth when you're self-doubting yourself. It'll be yourself. When you say things bad about yourself, doubt yourself, vocalize how you're not good enough, that you're not strong enough, you're not smart enough, you're not fast enough to a friend, you're actually educating yourself more to believe that you're not good enough. So the first thing is to expand the super you. Tell yourself, you know what, I'm pretty good at this, or I love this, or let's do that. Let's try and be something that's more and exciting. Expand the super you. Every single person on this club Zoom is spectacularly different. We all may look similar. We may have 2 arms and 2 legs. We may not. Doesn't matter. We all have similarities in the sense of a species, but we are born different. I did this when I was 24, and I was an introvert. I had to create a persona of having strength and confidence. And my partners and I said, let's expand our business to America. America? I'd never been to America. I was born in a village of 1,000 people. Why would I go to America? Everybody's loud there and they have big mouths and they keep talking. Why would I go there? But then I thought about it. And I thought, if I want to expand my business, go to a great place of business. And to do it, the first thing I did was I had to make a statement. And I shaved my head. I had it shaved for 10 years from the age of 24. Why? Because when I looked in the mirror, I looked a little tougher. It made me feel tougher. Second thing is, I was part of a British colony that was I was expanding to America. At that time, punk rock was the big thing. Cool Britannia was the cool thing, that everybody was cool. And so I came to America, even though I wasn't cool, trying to be cool. And the Americans who were like, wow, you sound different. You have an accent. In America, they thought that accent was intelligent. I've been told I was stupid all my life. And then the Americans are going, you sound so intelligent. All I needed to do was say, yeah, you know what? I am intelligent. In fact, my mother is the queen. Really? No. But they believe anything you want. So expand your super you of who you are. You may be good at sport, playing the trumpet, whistling, having great bubble baths, doing your hair in a perm. Doesn't matter. Write down everything that you love, everything that makes you special, and I can guarantee, I will bet you, you ask your best friends, your friends, anybody, they do not have the same list you have. The key is packaging those up. So when you tell a story, when you go to a job interview, when you talk about where you want to go in life, what you believe in, it has the twist of you, the twist of why you're different. And that is critical. Do not ever go to a job interview and not reflect on who you are. Do not talk and tell stories of somebody else that doesn't have an implication about why it's important to you. Be you, celebrate you, expand your super you, because you were born spectacular. It's only saying and listening to self-doubt that stops you expanding. Do that and you will put blossoms. If a guy like me can do it, everybody on this Zoom can do it.
Yang disampaikan oleh Will itu adalah suatu semangat untuk teman-teman agar tidak mempertanyakan diri sendiri lagi dan mengembangkan atau expand dari yang teman-teman anggap itu spesial dari diri kalian masing-masing. Yang hadir di sini itu semuanya spesial dan pasti memiliki perbedaan masing-masing yang menjadi identitas teman-teman hari ini. Fokus kepada titik itu dibanding merendahkan diri, juga mendengarkan doubts atau pertanyaan-pertanyaan yang merendahkan diri. Fokus kepada bagaimana teman-teman ingin mengembangkan diri, fokus kepada apa yang membuat teman-teman spesial dan apa yang membuat kalian berbeda. Dan dari situ kalian bisa berpikir yang lebih luas lagi dan bisa berpikir secara berkembang lagi, di mana akhirnya bisa membangun the super you.
Okay, second, the L, expand, leverage your network. every single one of us is like these animals. We're different. We may have big horns, maybe not, but we may have curly hair, no hair. Tall, short, does not matter. Every single one of you is spectacular. Every single one of your friends and your connections are spectacular. Leverage your network. I would not have got to where I am in life alone. And I don't mean people that keep you company. The people that you have as friends, or even relatives, or places that you work, that when you say, I'd like to do this or that, I think I'm good at this or that, and they say, no, you're not, or you shouldn't do that, or you're not good enough to do that yet, that is not your network. Those are people that are taking up space in your life that you do not need to lean on. They may be a family member. I have many friends whose mother or father were narcissistic. They were always mean to them and pushed them and not kind. You were born with your family. You cannot change that. But you were not born with who you can spend time with. And you may only have one person that believes in you right now. And that may be a cat or a dog or a bird. Start with that one thing. It doesn't matter. It's far better to have one person that believes in you than 5 people of which 4 don't. They will not propel your career. The way I have lived my career is I have leveraged my network, not used. If I'm having a great event or a great party, I invite them. I introduce them to people. If I'm working on a team, I connect them. I call them out, like Magical Maggie, who's helping me here. She's awesome. She does what I cannot do, but she is part of my network. I celebrate her. And I hope in return, she celebrates me, as with my network. But do remove people out of the network who are helping you with your career choice, your life choice, whatever it is. Move them out of the way if they are not positively leveraging your success, helping you forwards.
Yang dikatakan oleh Will adalah gunakan network yang teman-teman punya, tetapi network yang memang menjadi bagian dari support atau dukungan terbesar. Lebih baik teman-teman memiliki satu orang yang memang percaya dengan your specialty, keistimewaan teman-teman, dibanding memiliki teman-teman banyak tetapi yang menjatuhkan teman-teman untuk berkembang. Jadi gunakan network yang teman-teman punya, tetapi juga pilih network yang memang membantu teman-teman bisa berkembang.
I love the Indonesian language. It's so fluid and beautiful. Thank you for helping, Salsa. I am practicing. I have a life coach doing this, but I'm not there yet, so I'm not going to embarrass myself. Number three, explore. Okay, this is me in Antarctica. It's not some bad drug problem from my days as a youth in America. We don't agree with those things anyway in Indonesia. But this is me exploring in Antarctica at the bottom of the world. Why was I there? Why? Because a friend suggested I join him to climb the highest mountain in the coldest, driest, most remote continent on the planet. Why did I do it? Because he said I could. He said I could. And I believed him because I trusted him. That's how important a friend is. Explore is absolutely critical. Do not follow. And I'm not talking just about going to Antarctica. I'm talking about everything. When I was in the advertising world, our first clients, we used to do brochures for barbecue companies, coal companies, natural gas companies. They weren't creative. They didn't want creativity. So what did we do? Everybody wants you, when they employ you, to do what you've done, but better for them. Everybody that employs you wants you to do what you have done, but better for them. So if you haven't explored and done things that you want to do as a profession, you will not be hired for them. When I was in this design company doing normal work with clients, we started doing experimental work. How can we mix different colors in printing? How can we propel thoughts forwards by interviewing crazy people and drawing images about them? We started to experiment doing work that we wanted to do. If you wait to be gifted what you will do, you will keep waiting, you will be not happy, and you'll be unsatisfied. If you want to be a pro skater, you practice, do it, do videos, share them, then go to the company and say, I'd like to be one of your celebrity pro skaters. Here's my portfolio. If I want to be a designer, buy the software, practice. If I want to be a doctor, learn, try it out on the cat, whatever it is, but explore. Don't really try it out on the cat. Explore where you can go. Do not follow. If I'd have followed, I would be stacking shelves in the local supermarket in the north of England, because that was my journey. I decided to be inquisitive, endlessly curious. How can I curiously follow that and explore and show that you can go there?
Untuk poin ini, teman-teman harus terus menjelajahi apapun dibanding mengikuti kata orang lain. Karena ketika seseorang ingin hire atau menerima kalian untuk bekerja, biasanya itu adalah untuk kalian melakukan yang kalian biasa lakukan, tetapi lebih baik. Jadi ekspektasinya itu tidak hanya cuma di sini, tapi memang harus lebih dari situ. Hal itu bisa dilakukan apabila teman-teman terus menjelajahi dan bisa mengembangkan apapun yang selama ini teman-teman merasa menjadi keterampilan yang paling baik.
Okay. Next one, V, value. I thought this was interesting when the Oga Oga parade was going on in Bali, or got stopped by COVID, and this character had one of the Balinese who are so beautifully creative and humorous had put a mask on this poor Oga Oga's face. But it really hit home a message. And this is valuing listening over talking. Up until the age of 11, I never really spoke. Why? Those men on the call will realize it. I had 3 older sisters, and I couldn't get a word in edgeways. There was no room for me to speak. They were talking so excitedly all the time, and I was this quiet little boy, and I never spoke. So I had to sit and listen, and listen, and listen. You notice the most powerful people in a room are often the people that listen, think, and then talk. Talking more does not mean that you know more. Talking more means that you want to hear your own voice. Listening propels you forwards. The reason you have 2 ears is because you should listen twice as much as you talk. So try and think about that. How am I going to listen today? One of the world's top scientists, one of the nuclear physicists, was asked, why were you so successful in life? Why did you propel to be one of the top scientists on the planet? And he said, because my mother used to ask me when I came home every day, what good questions did you ask? What good question did you ask today? Every billionaire I know, every billionaire I know, and I know many, always ask questions. They're never the one talking. They're asking questions. And they talk. Why? Because they're listening. What am I going to learn today? What advantage am I going to get? How can I grow? So listen, when you go to an interview, first question, sir, madam, what's really important to you from the job that I'm applying for? Not, let me tell you why I'm good at my job. Listen, and listen intently. Don't listen so that they say something. Oh, good, I got that question out of the way. Listen because you want to probe. Listen deeply and listen to the answers. They will tell you what you need to present when you're applying for a job. They will tell you what they want and you echo it back. Wow, this guy really knows what I need because you've listened.
Dari value ini adalah untuk menghargai, yaitu menghargai bisa dimulai dengan mendengarkan orang lain dibanding berbicara langsung. Dengan mendengarkan orang lain, kita jadi bisa belajar banyak dan bisa lebih mengetahui wawasan yang di luar sana agar bisa mengekspand atau mengembangkan diri. Biasanya orang yang sukses itu lebih condong mendengarkan orang karena akhirnya dia bisa menganalisa dan membuat keputusan yang lebih baik berdasarkan dari pendengaran tersebut. Jadi teman-teman sebelum membuat keputusan yang berat atau gimana, coba untuk mendengarkan dulu dibanding untuk bisa berbicara dan beropini dibanding ketika membuat keputusan-keputusan tersebut.
Next. All right, this one's a good one. Act. Act with your gut. When you already are born acting with your gut. When you were born, you were connected to your mother by your gut, called the belly button. It's the smartest brain that we have. Think through your gut, not through your heart, not through your head. We all have more optimistic points of the day in here. We have more tired and exhausting points of the day through here. Act with your gut. Because when you act with your gut, you're thinking as a human and a being. One of the Elevation Barn leaders that came to our retreat was a bullfighter. And a CEO said to me, and a bullfighter is often, in America, they have these people, they're often called idiots in other countries, but they have these people that sit and ride a bull and see if they can stay on the bull for 8 seconds. Seems quite a short amount of time until 4,000 pounds of beef are trying to throw you off. The bullfighter is the second idiot, but actually not an idiot. He's the bravest man on the pitch, and women do this. He's the guy that has to stop the bull squashing the guy who's just been thrown off on the floor. You think your job's hard, right? This guy was talking at the retreat, and I said to the guy, who is a spectacularly bright, intelligent, he's an expert in soil conservation. He said to the guy, one, why do you do that? The second question to the point here was, how do you know you're in control of the bull? He said, I only know I'm in control when my hand is touching the head of the bull. I know intuitively through my being where the bull's going to go, where it's moving, how I should dance. In business, that's how you should act. In careers, that's how you should act. Intuitively follow your gut. If your gut says, go and meet that person, or don't leave the event now because I may meet somebody, it's not to go off and go and have a pop me over here. It's to actually stay in that moment because that is what is engaging you. The CEOs in big corporations, I asked the same question to a global CEO. When things are getting crazy, like a bull chasing you, or business is in a hard time during a recession, what do? He said, I stand back I look at all the different opportunities and things I should do. After he heard this man talk about how he copes with the power of a bull and how he reacts, he changed his business tactic. He got closer to his team. He got more connected to the market. He listened. He got involved as a great listener. And his business doubled in size. Because by disconnecting, he was actually disconnecting from the emotion, the human reaction, the speed that he needed to engage. So act with your gut, not with your mind, not with your heart. Start with the gut.
Dari poin ini, Will ingin menyatakan untuk teman-teman selalu bertindak dengan menganalisa intuisi teman-teman. Kenapa intuisi ini menjadi suatu hal yang penting? Karena sebenarnya ini adalah naluri yang sudah terbangun dari kalian semenjak lahir. Dan hal ini bisa membantu teman-teman untuk membuat keputusan yang sulit, di mana intuisi ini memberikan masukan ke teman-teman kira-kira keputusan apa yang harus diambil agar di kedepannya bisa lebih sesuai dan lebih sukses. Gitu.
Okay. Trust. Elevate. Our last one, number 6. Trust in time. It's a lesson I've only learned actually spending time in Indonesia, to be honest. In New York, I was constantly on this machine of transforming, being the best at this, being the best at that, being great. But time delivers opportunities. If you fall off a bicycle or a motorbike or off a wall, things slow down. Your brain reacts differently as you're thinking. How do I act? If you meditate, if you just close your eyes and think about the challenges, the topics that you've got. If you trust in time, I can assure you, if you're listening twice as much and you have your eyes open, opportunities will present themselves. I cannot tell you how many times incredible opportunities present themselves to my friends and they don't look at them. I had a rule, and you can use it, that if something came up 3 times, that it meant that it was to be. On the 3rd time, act. I was in my early 20s and I was talking to a friend and she said, oh, I'm supposed to be going to China in 3 days to give a talk on this topic that we were both very passionate about. I can't go. I said, I'll go. She said, what? I said, I'll take your place. You would do that? Yes, why? Because China had come up in conversation 3 times before. When I was talking with friends, I'd love to go to China. I was flown by Variety magazine, first class, to go and talk for 8 hours to leaders on creativity and the power. I had no idea what I'd be talking about. 8 hours, I talked about everything, I can tell you that. But it was the opportunity was there. Listen. Trust in time. Time will present opportunities. Your choice is whether you pick up on them. Would you like to live here? Would you like to come to this party? If you calculate it right, you may meet somebody. If you're looking for them, it will help change your life. Have that conversation. Reach out to people after they've done a presentation. Can I connect with you? Yes. The people that don't trust in time, trust in their gut, trust in making some action happen, go nowhere. Those that reach out and make a difference. I saw Donald Trump talk at a lecture 20 years ago. And I said to him, what, and I'm not talking politics here, why are you successful? And he said, every single person I have ever met, I get their business card and their contact details, because sometime in the future, they may be of benefit to me. Was he right? I think he did pretty well by that rule. Note to self. Okay, so, Salsa, over to you.
just a bit a short summary. Untuk poin terakhir ini adalah untuk percaya dengan proses yang teman-teman sedang lalui dan perhatikan betul-betul kira-kira titik kesempatan yang bisa diambil dan bisa dikembangkan dari situ. Karena biasanya bagaimana kesempatan itu bisa dikembangkan kalau teman-teman itu sadar bahwa itu suatu hal yang bisa menjadi kesempatan perkembangan, bisa maju, dan bisa sukses di kelanjutannya. Percaya dengan proses itu, dan juga percaya bahwa semua yang terjadi di keliling teman-teman itu sebenarnya titik yang bisa dikembangkan terus. Begitu.
Okay. So I said there were 6 rules. Don't believe in the rules. I've added a 7th. Do not follow the rules. Erase the rules. People will tell you how to perform so they can control you, so they can determine what you do. You decide what you want to do, erase the rules, play by your rules.
Poin terakhir untuk teman-teman, tadinya cuma ada 6, sekarang ada 7. Erase, hapus semua rules atau aturan-aturan yang diberikan kepada teman-teman selama hidup ini, karena sebenarnya itu hanya untuk mengontrol teman-teman dan jadi susah untuk berkembang. Hapus itu semua dan lakukan yang 6 pertama di awal.
Oke. Terima kasih.
Thank you so much, Will. Those points have been very inspiring, and it has been very insightful, especially for me, someone who's young and still wanting to kind of explore with how my career would turn out. We're gonna go straight to Q&A session because we have about 17 questions that they would like to ask. The current participants would like to know. Maybe we'll have about 10 minutes of the Q&A session, and then we'll close it. There are some questions here. Is there a question that you would like to choose answering, or would you like me to help you with choosing the questions? There are some in English.
I'll jump on one and then you do the others. The one about, is it okay to try different things and stumble here and there? Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Anonymous or Mrs. Anonymous. Yes, you must. You should have at least 6 careers. And that doesn't mean that it's different jobs. You can have a job, one company you work with, but 6 different things in it. I have failed so many times. I'm in the creative industry. That's called the rejection industry. We fail constantly. Here's 20 ideas. I don't like any of them. Failure is your friend. Must fail. Absolutely. Do not be fearful of it.
Untuk mentranslate sedikit, jangan takut untuk gagal, memang itu adalah prosesnya. Jadi untuk bisa ada membuat kesalahan dikit, kesalahan situ, itu nggak apa-apa. Itu prosesnya dan itu proses perkembangannya. Continuing with several questions that are they're here. There is one from Nadira. Hi, Will. How do you, or would you get yourself out of a rut or a low point in your life? What is the first thing that you would do? Thank you.
The first thing I do when something goes wrong is this.
Same.
Once I've
Same
thrown my
mood.
That is human. That's human. But the thing is to step back and go, okay, it's an obstacle. I'm still alive. What do I want the next element to be? What is my next success? It is guaranteed you will have more failures than successes. Period. Period. It's like inventions. Somebody will invent something once, they'll evolve something thousands of times. That's what your life's about, evolving over the obstacle. Somebody added a question here about anxiety, the same thing. Be prepared to fail. Be prepared to be anxious. If you're anxious, have 3 questions in your pocket that you know are great questions, so that you're prepared to help propel forwards. Don't turn up and go, I can't think of a question now. I'm sat in the elevator with, you know, Nadia Hutagalung, and I don't know what to say. You've always got 3 great questions. She's a friend. I didn't know what to ask her. My questions were, what are you working on at the moment? What inspired you today? Questions that mean something to them. Well, that's a great question. Thanks for asking, you know? And these things can get you off the floor because you're then aligned with people that you care about and they care about you, but you're also thinking about how you can propel your confidence above a certain level.
Sedikit summary, nangis, marah, frustasi itu udah pasti, itu manusiawi sekali. Untuk bisa mengatasi masalahnya adalah untuk bisa menanyakan diri sendiri kira-kira apa yang bisa dilakukan teman-teman agar bisa terus maju. Pertanyaan-pertanyaan positif itu agak bisa membantu kalian maju dan bisa membantu kalian membuat tindakan tercepat untuk memecahkan masalah yang sedang dihadapi. Alright. Another question from Dinda. One of the secrets is listening. My question is, should we listen to the opinions of others in our decision?
Absolutely.
It's kind of conflicting because you said don't follow, but at the same time we should listen. So how do we kind of balance that? I think that's what she's trying to convey.
It's a great question. I ask you the reverse question. Does the bullfighter watch and listen to what the bull's doing? You bet he does. Because if he's not listening to what others are doing, he's going to get squashed. It does not mean you need to act. It just means you have a balanced opinion. You have a perspective. Those that just listen to themselves, sure, that's self-fueling. But listening to others is critical. You need to be balanced and diverse. Absolutely.
Jadi untuk menjawab itu, mendengarkan itu penting, tetapi untuk mengobservasi sekeliling kalian. Bukan untuk bertindak, tetapi untuk mengobservasi agar tindakan yang kalian buat diri kalian sendiri itu lebih pas. Begitu. Another question from Emanuela. What if we want to explore ourselves, like shift our career path, but have insecurities or afraid if we couldn't earn enough money to live or help the family?
Great question and very important. Something that I've always believed in is you don't just jump. You don't go, oh, I've got a great job. I think I'd like to do something else. I'm leaving it. 2 things. 1, you decide where you want to go and you make sure that your branch that you're swinging onto is already secure when you let go of the other one. So if you want to change careers, look at the list of the 6, 7 that I gave you. Make sure that you're ready and prepared so that that new job is going to be a real plus on where you are. And when you're stable and secure and knowing that that job is going to probably be better paid, where you want to go, what you love doing more, then let go of the other. Do not leave and just let go, okay? That's really important. Second, do 2 jobs. Oh, I don't want to work more than 9 to 5. No. When I moved to America, I used to start work at 8 o'clock in the morning. I worked till 6 o'clock at night, and from 6 o'clock at night until 11 o'clock at night, I'd work on my chances of succeeding in America. If you want to succeed, you want to succeed. If you don't want to succeed, stop making things up. Stop being pathetic and saying, I can't do it. It's not me. You put the effort in. You work hard. And if you want it, you will make it. You will make money. You will make success. You will make happiness. So make sure it's calculated and double your chances by being prepared and working harder to make sure that your job where you're going, you're prepared for, and you're putting time in. Trust in time.
Untuk menjawab pertanyaan Immanuela tadi, penting banget untuk teman-teman mengukur dan melihat betul-betul kira-kira keputusan yang diambil yang baik itu tuh seperti apa. Karena nggak mungkin ketika membuat keputusan untuk explore diri itu dilakukan pada saat itu aja. Lihat kesempatan yang ada di sekeliling dan benar-benar kembangkan dari situ. Dan harus hustle, mungkin harus kerja dua, di mana 9 to 5 iya, setelah 9 to 5 itu kerjain sesuatu hal yang lain agar bisa mendapatkan waktu untuk mengembangkan dirinya itu. Susah untuk mau sukses kalau tidak benar-benar berupaya dan juga mengobservasi untuk bisa mengembangkan diri itu seperti apa. Last question, because of the time constraints. Thank you so much, Will, for the time and your wisdom in how to maneuver this very uncertain time and age. To close this off, this one person said, "Hi, Will. I'm quite introverted and have some degree of social anxiety. I feel a lot of tips for success emphasize on socialization and making connections. Do you have any tips that could help maybe?" That was the question for this person, anonymous.
Yeah, that's a great question. And I touched on it a little bit before with the anxiety, that I'm absolutely terrified of walking into a place full of people, that I have to walk in and try and meet somebody. Absolutely terrified. I hate it. So I pretend to be somebody else. I pretend I'm a superhero version of myself. And many other people do this. Actors, musicians, a lot of people that are introverted creatives but have to be extroverted through their performance. Pretend you're somebody else. Before you go into a gathering where you're going to be there, go in the bathroom. And this came from a guy, Rick Adams, who's a top television host, who's quite introverted. He goes in the bathroom and he pulls the funniest faces, shouts at himself, tries to make himself laugh. So his mind is already going, I'm in an embarrassing space. I already feel a bit crazy. So when he walks into a boring space, he feels a little bit more confident and a bit more engaged. Have those great questions that I had for Nadia in your pocket. What am I going to say if I meet X kind of person? Take a wing person to go with you. Don't let go of them as soon as you're there, but go with somebody as a companion. Find one person that looks interesting and start a conversation. But always start, when you are nervous, with bite-sized chunks. It's your comfort zone. Try and expand outside it. Do yourself a list of 4 things that you are uncomfortable doing, and try and focus on doing them. It could be standing up and clapping at a concert. It could be, singing with the family or telling a story over dinner, but just try and practice. The more you expand your comfort zone, the smaller the world becomes in its restrictions on you. But you have to practice. It's like saying, I'd like to become healthier and have bigger muscles in the gym, but I don't want to lift the weight up. You got to lift the weight up. Otherwise, you're not going to get stronger. If you don't practice, you're not going to get there. As I said earlier, I was absolutely terrified of large spaces. I didn't speak till I was 11. I was told I was stupid all my career. I just moved from a pond that was restricting my confidence to a different pond where I was confident. If you're in a pond that's stagnant, makes you feel bad, you feel awkward, you move. Introverts and people that are concerned and anxious are 60% of the population. You just don't hear about them because all the people who are extroverted are talking all the time. But you're not alone. So just celebrate and go in a pond where you feel great. Connect with those people. Who are those people that are going to help lift you?
Untuk menutup sedikit, yang Will katakan adalah agar buat teman-teman, kasarnya ya, laga aja dulu. Kalau misalnya bisa berpura-pura bahwa kita pede, kita bisa ngelakuin ini, itu bagaimana bisa membangun persona dan tampak seperti extroverted dan akhirnya bisa menghadapi social anxiety tersebut. Will tuh sebenarnya benci banget dan juga takut untuk menghadapi halayak orang banyak. Dan hal pertama yang dia lakukan adalah, kasarnya adalah laga aja dulu. Dan dari situ bisa mengembangkan perspektif dan juga bisa mengobservasi banyak. Poin penting selain laga itu adalah untuk bisa mengkelilingi teman-teman agar dikelilingi oleh orang-orang yang memang positif energinya. Dan dari situ akhirnya teman-teman jadi juga bisa berpikir positif, bisa berkembang, dan dari situ jelajah, perkembangan bisa terjadi. Jadi buat teman-teman yang memiliki social anxiety atau introverted, yang Will katakan adalah kasarnya laga aja dulu gitu. So, thank you so much, Will. The Q&A session has ended. Minta maaf teman-teman yang ada 24 pertanyaan yang tidak sempat dijawab karena waktunya memang mepet sekali. Thank you so much, Will, for answering in your time and this wisdom. Everyone kept saying thank you in the chat box, and they're actually asking for an extra time. The extra time that we'll be giving is just to give out some sort of summary on how the things that you have been saying throughout the session. Berhubung waktu kita, maaf banget teman-teman yang menanyakan bisa dapat ekstra waktu, mau kasih summary sedikit aja, karena waktunya sudah hampir habis. Narasumber kami udah menyampaikan banyak sekali poin-poin yang teman-teman bisa ambil agar bisa terus bisa berkembang. Dari sini sebenarnya ada 6 poin yang bisa diangkat, yaitu elevate. I-nya itu expand, L-nya itu leverage, I-nya itu explore, V-nya itu value, listening over talking, of course. Act-nya itu, A-nya itu act, dan T-nya itu trust in time. Dari sini, insight-nya menarik banget. Sebenarnya untuk bisa membantu teman-teman bisa membuat keputusan terhadap karier dan juga gimana caranya berkembang sesuai dengan tempuhan karir yang teman-teman ingin bangun. Patuhi semua 6 points itu, bahkan 7, dan konsistenkan sekali untuk mengikuti poin-poin itu agar teman-teman bisa terus mencapai suatu kesuksesan. Dirangkum juga dari key points yang disampaikan oleh Will, teman-teman itu bisa menemukan kekuatan dan gunakan keterampilan yang dimiliki untuk bisa berdampak positif di keselanjutannya, baik itu untuk teman-teman dan juga untuk sekitar. Tidak menjadi hal yang buruk jika teman-teman juga masih bingung terhadap masa depan. Justru 6 points ini bisa membantu teman-teman bisa berkembang terus. Dan gimana caranya teman-teman bisa menggunakan lingkungan sekitar untuk bisa melihat secara lebih luas dan akhirnya berkembang. Yang Will katakan, mendengar, observasi, dan juga bertindak berdasarkan intuisi hasil dari observasi tersebut. Nah, semoga teman-teman bisa mendapatkan manfaat dari webinar ini dan juga dari event Ready Set Rise secara keseluruhan. Sebelum kita berpisah, mohon bantuannya teman-teman untuk mengisi evaluasi saat ini juga, bisa melalui link di chat atau scan QR code yang bisa dilihat di layar masing-masing. Hasilnya akan kami gunakan sebagai masukan untuk membuat event yang lebih baik lagi, agar webinarnya terus berkembang dan teman-teman juga mendapatkan konten yang sesuai agar bisa mempersiapkan terus karirnya. Materi presentasi ini akan didapatkan setelah teman-teman mengisi form tersebut, jadi jangan takut poin-poin yang tadi disampaikan oleh Will itu hilang atau tidak, materinya itu akan disampaikan. Sambil juga untuk closing, Fajri silakan.
Nah, gimana teman-teman? Pasti seru banget sih. Karena aku pribadi dapat insight yang banyak banget nih. Thank you so much, Will, for sharing with us. Because this session, this really, it's an eye opening for me, and I have a lot of knowledge on what I should do and how I can elevate my career. And I think menurutku juga salah satu poin penting yang aku bisa terapin di kehidupan aku ya sebagai salah satu values atau nilai-nilai yang aku bisa ambil dari webinar ini adalah untuk kita jangan takut gagal, jangan takut salah, karena kegagalan dan kesalahan itu adalah teman kita. Dan dengan hal itu, itulah yang membuat kita spesial, itulah yang membuat kita unik, yang buat kita punya gift yang bisa kita offer kepada dunia. Nah, itu salah satu life values yang aku tangkap dari webinar ini. Mungkin teman-teman yang lain punya life values yang lain, bisa di-share di chat sama teman-teman yang lain juga. Siapa tahu nanti ternyata memiliki kesamaan satu sama lain. Nah, sebenarnya Klop bersama Will Travis juga, kita sedang mempersiapkan sesuatu yang exciting banget nih. Exciting banget, namanya Klop Explore. Nah, Klop Explore ini apa sih sebenarnya? Buat kalian yang penasaran nih, aku nggak boleh spoiler dulu, jadi kalian harus tetap pantau websitenya Klop biar kalian tahu sebenarnya apa itu Klop Explore. Habis itu setelah kalian webinar ini, jangan lupa kalau misalnya kalian ingin mau daftar kerja, kalian bisa langsung aja ke klop.id atau mungkin ingin membeli paket belajar setelah nonton webinar ini, kalian langsung, aduh aku pengen belajar ini, pengen belajar itu. Nah, kalian bisa banget langsung head over ke Klop, langsung beli paketnya mulai dari 10.000 aja. Nah, sambil teman-teman isi form tadi untuk feedbacknya, aku mau mengucapkan sekali lagi terima kasih yang paling besar kepada Tanoto Foundation dan Pegadaian sebagai sponsor utama, Kompas.com dan Kompas ID sebagai bagian dari Kompas Gramedia yang menjadi media partner kami, dan semua pihak yang telah mendukung terselenggaranya Ready Set Rise ini. Terima kasih banget Kak Salsa sudah mentranslate semua ini atas waktunya. Dan juga thank you so much Will for coming and sharing with us, because I'm sure that all the participants have a lot of insights now, and maybe just maybe
inspired, most definitely inspired.
Yes, well, please
maybe next
join
time.
us on join us on Instagram. Maggie posted it's the elevation barn there, and we're obviously working closely with the fabulous Club platform. We will keep fueling great ideas and thoughts, but keep in the conversation, and let's keep sharing with each other so that we can propel and elevate together. This is all about us, not me.
Yes.
Instagram to Elevation Barn will always be open, and also Instagram to Club will always be open. Buat teman-teman yang pengen tahu lagi konten-kontennya Will dan juga kerja sama Club dengan Will, ceki-ceki terus ya Instagramnya.
Ya, mungkin juga maybe next time we can have Will back again, speak again.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. We'd love to invite you again.
Yes.
Next time in Indonesian, please.
Hopefully. Nah, terima kasih banget buat para speaker, moderator, dan teman-teman yang udah datang, udah mengikuti sesi dari akhir sampai awal. Semoga banyak manfaat yang bisa diambil oleh teman-teman semua. Nah, jangan lupa sekali lagi, kalau misalnya kalian bingung nih, aduh aku habis ini, aku inspired banget nih, aku mau ngapain. Nah, mungkin kalian butuh kerja, kalian bisa langsung cari kerja. Atau mungkin kalian mau belajar, kalian bisa belajar. Nah, semua itu sudah lengkap, ada di club.id, dan kalian tinggal head over ke sana, login atau daftar dulu. Nah, habis itu baru deh kalian daftar kerja, belajar, atau mungkin ikut webinar yang lain. Jangan lupa, event webinar ini akan terus berlangsung sampai tanggal 3 Oktober. Jadi jangan sampai kelewatan sesi-sesi yang lain, karena banyak banget webinar-webinar yang menarik untuk menambah wawasan dan pengetahuan para clubbers nih. Nah, jadi sebenarnya webinar ini dibuat biar kalian tuh siap banget menghadapi tantangan yang dihadapi saat ini dan juga nanti ke depannya. Jangan lupa daftar ya, aku tungguin loh. Nah, terakhir, aku mau pamit diri. Thank you so much, Salsa. Thank you so much, Will. Thank you so much, Maggie, for coming here today. Don't forget to stay healthy, to stay sane, I guess.
Yes.
Jangan lupa juga menjaga jarak, cuci tangan, bersih-bersih, pokoknya jaga kesehatan kalian. Jangan lupa juga daftar webinar yang lain ya, karena pasti aku tunggu banget. You start stronger, do better, and go further. Thank you so much for coming. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.